Morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Let's see who we got hanging out with us here. Yeah, Mr. Landis Stutes. He says, good morning. Getting ready to print some vice pads for a Rockwell jaw horse. Anything special on the TPU filament? I couldn't tell you anything special. I'm still playing around with it myself, trying to find the ideal settings. I mean, I've got it where it's coming out, I think, pretty good, but it's really not as good as that I'm used to getting with the PLA. So maybe I'm looking for something that's not there. I don't know, but I'm still playing around a little bit. Thomas Graham, good morning. Charles says, good morning, Dave and Jack. Jack says, good morning. He's right here with me today, like he usually is. Larry says, morning, everyone. Spent the entire day pew dialing in the speed and power on a specific piece of wood. All right. Well, I hope you got it. Sean's here. Good morning, Sean. Back on a different YouTube channel again. He just rotates them in and out, doesn't he? Monroe Cook here. Good morning. David Davis. Good morning. 49 degrees this morning. Yeah, as soon as I peeked my head out from under the covers this morning, I thought, man, it's because I still have not turned my heat on. I've been resisting. And I said, hey, Alexa, what's the temperature outside? She said it was 46 outside. So I'm thinking, wow. Then I got up and walked past my thermostat, and it was 67, I think, 66 or 67, which that's not bad, but it's a little cool for my taste. But I still haven't turned it on. Once I get up and get moving around, it's okay. So I'm just going to try to hold off as long as I can. Ray Jones in the house. Good morning, Ray. George is here. Good morning. Kevin Ailes. Good morning, sir. Hope you are doing well. Kenneth's here. Good morning, Kenneth. Appreciate the thumbs up. Got a couple of them over there, for crying out loud. I tell you. Jesse's here. Good morning. My favorite solar man is here. He's back home with his fancy doors. I know he's got to be excited about that. Here's Larry Galt's TPU settings. Retraction distance. Well, I'll let you read all that. I'm not going to read it all. It says 220. Cooling fan 60%. Okay. I guess. I don't know. There they are right there, Landis. Kenneth says, never used TPU, but heard it likes the direct drive extruded. Yeah, that's why I'm running it on this one here, because it's got the direct drive. The Ender 3s do not. They got the Bowden tube. So I could see how it would be a little tricky trying to push that stuff, because it is pretty flimsy and floppy and flexible and all that. So Troy Pritchard's in the house. Good morning, Troy. Appreciate the thumbs up. Clyde CNC is here. Good morning, Clyde. All right. Don't have much to talk about today at all. I watched a little bit on the weather this morning, and it's like for the next 5 or 6 days or whatever, it's exactly the same, temperatures, around 80 or so, low 80s or something, but yet cool in the morning. So, not much to say there. Still not getting any rain, which I don't really mind. I know it's getting pretty dry out there, but we're going to need some rain here before long. But it looks like from what Joanne says, it's going to be a while before we even have a chance of it. So we will wait and see if we get some. There he says, I used it on my old printer and it worked fine. Okay, so that's with a Bowden tube. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I think you can do it with some of them, but from what I've heard, it just works better if you have the direct drive because you're pulling it right there at it. But anyway, I'm going to try to run. I only ran one yesterday and I tried it running it a little bit cooler. And I really couldn't see any difference. I ran it at 210 instead of 220. And I really didn't see any difference at all. So I may play around with it some more if I get a chance. But not much else going on around here. Got made myself a list of stuff I need to do. And then I got lazy yesterday and I think I did one thing on the list. So I'm terrible sometimes. I just cannot get motivated to do stuff here lately. I don't know what it is. But got to do better. I'm gonna try to get out there today and do a few. And the things I got on here, I could probably knock them all out in an hour if I just get with it. But I just can't seem to get motivated to do it. Hey, you're late telling me that, Ryan, because I didn't spend much time yesterday, but because I only ran one of them. But the other day I ran like a total, I think 13, and the last 6 came out fairly good. But I'll send you whatever I get run, because I really can't think of anything else I'd use that filament for. So we'll try a few more today maybe and see what happens. The most time I spent, and I won't say it was wasted time, but trying to figure out how I could get it to pause or do something to where I could get that little support in. But then when I finally thought, well, let me just, if I won't take a pause. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who are sending me suggestions and links and all this kind of stuff, I do not. I have Cura, but I don't like to use it. I don't like it as well as I do the Creality slicer. That's what came with my first Ender, and it seems simpler. I mean, there are advanced buttons you can open up and drop down, but I've just had really good luck running my Ender 3s with that. So that's pretty much what I use. But then when somebody, I forget who it was, sent me a Facebook message or something, and it had a link to a video, and it was talking about how you can add a pause in Cura. And I went and watched that, and I thought, well, I bet you there's the same thing in Creality Slicer. And sure enough, there is. It's just that I keep mine set up on the simple settings, so I don't see it unless I go hunting for it. So I went and looked. Let's see if I can find it here. I'll share my screen and put it up here if I can find it. I guess I'll go ahead and load that model in too. Let's see where. See, now I'm probably gonna have trouble finding where it was. Open expert settings. No, I don't think that's where it was. Let's see. See here. Oh, I see. It's plugins. Yeah, let me open this up. No, StreamYard's done change this up. Now instead of saying share, it says present. Present screen. Why didn't they just leave it on share? Because that's what you're doing. All right. Anyway, So if I come over here and it says plugins and I click on this and it says pause at height, and then here's all that stuff that I could put in. And I still haven't tried that because I've already got the program on that SD card that does the little thing where it raises up, and that's all I need is for it to raise up far enough for me to get my hand under there real quick, poke that little support in, and yeah, then it comes. I mean, it comes flying down too because the next line it's picking up that faster feed rate, so it comes flying down and takes off. So, in fact, the first time I did it, I had it set to 100 millimeters going up, which is less, right about 4 inches, a little less than 4 inches. And I almost was too slow. It started coming down real fast. I almost got my fingers, and then I would have messed everything up. So I thought, well, let me set it for a little higher. So I went back, changed it, made it 200, and that way it goes up, and that's plenty of height for me to get that in there. But yeah, all that stuff, it's in there if I just look for it. I just was too lazy to look for it. But I could put the pause height and stuff in right there, and it tells it, you can tell it where to park it while it's doing it and all that stuff. But anyway. Oh, let's see. Jesse says, I will order me a laser today, going with the O2 or Laser Master 3. That's a good one. That's a good one. Ryan says, you said the same thing about printers as a whole a while back. Well, okay. I'm not sure I'm getting what you're saying, but okay. Clyde says, I need to change the table so you can run all three. I'm not sure what that means either. Man, I'm just not getting y'all's comments this morning. There is when I downloaded the file for that, there's a, don't have a use for it. Okay. They sent a thing where you can load one in, let's see what it is. Yeah, it's got 1, 2, or 4 where you can click it and it'll put 4 of them in there, but I'm just running one at a time because I only ran one of those supports. So if you tried to run 4 of them, you'd have to have 4 of those little supports because I can guarantee you it's not going to run if it doesn't have that little plug in there that works as a support. Oh, he says all 3 printers behind you. Okay. Well, Clyde, I didn't show it, but I have on my Creality slicer, I have both machines in there. I just flip flop. In fact, this one right here is, see if I come to machine, there's the Ender 3. And then here's the hick top. And this is the first one I made. In fact, I need to delete that one. And then I made another one that says new. And then that's the one I use. But if I see how that shrunk up when I clicked on the Ender. So I have it set up where I can run the 2 different machines. And I only need the 2 because the other 2 are identical. So unless you meant something else, like I said, I'm not sure I'm understanding y'all's comments this morning. Not enough coffee yet or something. But okay, Clyde's adding here. Let me see. You were going to swap the table for more room. Yeah, that's on my list. That's on that list of things I was going to do. Swap tables, and like I said, I got lazy and didn't do much yesterday. Okay, I see what Clyde said. Now it's making sense. See, I need to change the table so I can run all three. Well, I doubt it's very seldom that I have, that I have two of them going at the same time. I don't know if I would, um, I don't know that I would ever need to run three of them. And usually, the stuff I've been running here lately, if I'm running PLA, I run it on this one if it's something that's pretty good size, or if it's something that's just going to take a while, because it will run a lot faster than the Enders, even with just the regular PLA. But yeah, I'll get you one morning. You'll tune in here to coffee sessions, and you'll see a totally different looking thing, because it's one of those Harbor Freight, little cheap. Usually they're like $150. Workbench type thing. It's got the little vise on one end and 4 drawers in the front, and it's 5 foot long instead of 4 foot like that table. But that table is 24 inches deep, and the workbench thing is only 20 inches deep. But the 20 inches should work perfect, because that big one back there, the base is 19 by 19. So it should fit on there. And basically, I'd just have a little more room, a little more length, and I'd be able to set the other end or three right there on the end. But yeah, maybe I'll get that done today. Yeah, I'm actually behind on my coffee. Because I'm using one of the smaller cups. By the time I do the coffee sessions, I'm on my third cup, but I didn't this morning. I'm only on my second cups, and the first one hadn't kicked in yet. So, David says, I liked your background better with all the wires and motors for the CNC. Yeah. I'm going to have to get, because I'm sure that a situation will come up when I need to use that little demo board to demonstrate something. And as of right now, I can't use it because I let Jim have my UC 100 to run his when all his stuff, when he had that lightning come in and burn up his stuff. So I let him have that one, and I've loaned all of mine out and not got them back and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to buy another one to use with that, or something similar, because I don't have any computers that, or I don't want to make it where it would run with just an old computer with a parallel port, because that's all I could use. But if I leave it with a USB like it is now, I can use laptop or this computer or the one out in the shop, or I can use any of them. Rob Schuster's in the house. Yeah, he says, I like the demo board. Good work on that. Yeah, it's pretty sloppy wiring, but that was done that way. And I didn't worry about trying to route wires and put everything with the little hold down thingies and all that, because, I was changing it around, because there for a while I would do a show, and I would show a certain breakout board. And then the next show, I would do another breakout board where the setup was totally different. You use different power supplies and stuff like that. That's why right now there's power supplies on there, or one power supply that's not even being used. And then there's a bunch of other little terminal blocks. It just depends on the setup that I got going. So, Marcelo's here. Good morning. Yeah, I got rid of the other that used to be a demo board, and it was even sloppier than the one you've seen here. But that's the one I was using to run my Gatton CNC, and then that's the one I ended up taking over to Jim. And I told him, I said, man, I said, you won't hurt my feelings if you straighten out all this wiring and make it neat and all that. And he's like, I don't care as long as it runs. And I was over there the other day, and he was really excited because he was finishing up some projects he's been trying to get done. And he says, he says, I think you were right. He goes, you told me that thing would run better with these other drivers and instead of that little Xylotex box. He goes, you're right. He goes, it runs a lot better. Feels like it's got more oomph and runs smoother and all that. So, yeah, he's pretty tickled. And I did get over there to give him the screen set that has the little light. That's the only difference. The old screen set, that's the one that has that little LED light right beside the Auto Tool 0 button. So now he's really happy because he can check that with his little puck and make sure that it works before he hits that button. Because if you don't check it and a wire's loose and it's not working, you hit that button, that thing is going to try to push that bit right through your table. Let's see. Troy says, kind of like the Radio Shack electrical kits with the springs. Yeah. Marcelo says he just finished a 22 by 32 templates shield carving. Okay, I'm not sure what that's all about. Says something different for me. Clyde says the DM542 drivers are quieter. I guess that's what that is. Than the TB6600. Yeah, I'm a big fan. If I went to count up all the DM542s I have laying around here, I mean, I have a few less since I gave Jim that one. But I have a bunch of those. I've got some I found a while back in a box. I couldn't even remember what was in the box, and I pulled it out, and there was like 4 more of these DM542 drivers. Apparently, I was getting ready to build a controller of something and never did because I had power supplies and DM542 drivers and all kinds of stuff. But there's no telling how many controllers I could build if I was to round up all the little bits and pieces, parts and power supplies and terminal blocks and all that kind of stuff I have laying around here. And of course, I would make a box using the box creator. So I'll get around to doing that one day. Throw one together just for the heck of it. But let's see. Ryan's making a funny here. Like he said, it was when you had the Raspberry Pi. That's what you got them for. Might be. I don't know. But there's 4 brand spanking new ones still in their little boxes in a bigger box out there. Let's see. Are they out there? No, I think I moved them around back when I moved all that stuff around back to my other shop. But I still got them. I still have them. But yeah, I'd like to get a Raspberry Pi again, but let me see how much those things are. They went a little crazy on I guess because of shortage of them or something. I don't know. Let me go see what a Raspberry Pi goes for now. There, come on. Man, this stuff is ridiculous. Here's one that looks like it's just the Raspberry Pi. It's not the kit. Because the kits are ridiculous. Here's a kit that says Raspberry Pi 4 8 gig kit. You get the power supply, a 4K HDMI cable, heat sink, the case, $280. And then here's one where it's just the card, Raspberry Pi 4, $170. It is crazy. Because weren't those things like 35 or 40 bucks or maybe 50 or 60? I don't remember what I paid for that last one. Now, it wasn't a 4. I think it was a 3. But still, it wasn't nowhere near $100. I don't think. Well, let me check my orders. I can tell you what I paid for it. Let me search my orders. Okay, I bought it. Okay, well, it has been a long time. I bought it 4 years ago in May of 2018. Oh, and now when I try to click to see how much I paid for it, yeah, it was $70 for the kit. And it came with, it was a Raspberry Pi 3 Essentials kit. Had the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, 2.5 amp power supply, 32 gig. Yeah, and the little black case and some other little odds and ends. Looks like $69.99 4 years ago. So, man, COVID jacked up a bunch of stuff, didn't it? Yeah, that's an understatement there, Clyde. They've gone through the roof. And I'd like to have one, but I just wanted one to play around with. So I'm not about to spend that kind of money. Because it might be another one of those things. Like the last one, I bought it and it sat around here and then I gave it away. And because I wasn't using it. Now, that might be what happens to another one if I was to buy another one. So let's see. Larry says, I watched more Recollection Road yesterday. Good deal. That is a great channel, isn't it? I tell you what, that's part of the reason why I'm having trouble getting motivated to get off and do something, because I get started watching one of them and I'm like, oh man, this is, it's fun to just sit there and watch that and go, yeah, I remember all that stuff back in the good old days. Makes me long for the good old days. Jim Sanicola snuck in here. Good morning, Jim. Let's see here. I'm missing some comments. Let me get caught up and then we'll get out of here. So David says, yesterday I cut 2 gears for a clock, 148 tooth, and the other was 56 tooth. Cut it with a 1/16 bit. Very nervous about breaking a bit. Got it done with a very slow feed rate. Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race, what they say. Yeah, that's the one, Rob. I had it. It just was sitting around, still brand new in the box. I hadn't done a thing with it, and then I thought, well, I might as well give it away as one of the prizes. So yeah, that's the one. But anyway, well, I guess my time went off. I guess it's time to get out of here. We are, I got a thing. We're up to like 168 subscribers, which was still nothing. But I got, you get these things once every month. And of course, I get them for two different channels, the coffee sessions channel and my regular channel. But I noticed the coffee session one says it had the views listed in minutes, but it said it was 16,000. Let's see, 16.9K minutes over the past month. So I thought, well, let me do some math here. If I take 69 and then divide that by 60 to get how many hours, that's 281 hours. Then if I take that times 12 for the whole year, that's about 3380. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm getting close to being able to get 4,000 watch hours, because for some reason, I don't know why, don't get many subscribers, but I've noticed some of these older things are starting to get views. I don't know who the heck's watching them. I wouldn't, but somebody is. But yeah, I think that's unusual to be able to get to the watch hours before you get to the 1,000 subs. But maybe that'll happen. I don't know. I don't think this channel will ever get monetized. I won't live long enough for this one to be monetized. All right, let's get out of here. Everybody have a good Thursday. Jack's going to be excited today because I had to put something in the mailbox to ship out. So the flag's up on the mailbox. So that means that the mailman will definitely be stopping at our box this afternoon. So he'll be watching for that. Sometimes he gets all excited and he starts barking, and I turn on the security camera and I watch, and I'm like, he didn't even stop at our box, Jack. He drove on by, and then Jack gets mad. Sometimes I have to get up and go out there anyway, just because Jack thinks it's time to go get the mail. But anyway, all right, let's get out of here. Everybody have a good Thursday. Come on back tomorrow for number 585, and we'll get the weekend kicked off. Hit that thumbs up on the way out too, y'all. See you later. Have a good one.